One thing that FIFA does not play around with are its sponsorships. It's very strict, in fact. Certain companies involved in the World Cup have been forced to debrand in order to avoid conflict with FIFA sponsors. You're going to want to hear about this, and Richard Quest has the story.
The FIFA World Cup is, of course, one of the world's biggest, most expensive sponsorship opportunities for marketing. You've only got to look at the names and companies involved, how much they've paid to be associated with the worldwide event. But the effect of that, of course, is that FIFA requires any other names to be taken off. So, for example, the Lumen Stadium in Seattle has to be called the Seattle Stadium because you can't use the marketing name. And indeed, even within the stadium, things have been blacked out, as we heard about on Questme's Business last week.
FIFA is the global representation of the sport. We just saw a story about the Knicks and how it's taken over New York City, but each one of these matches that'll be hosted in Canada, US, and Mexico has a viewership that's actually larger than even the finals match or finals game that happened at the Knicks. So they carry a lot of weight. And so when they come along and say, we want to have a Seattle stadium instead of what you commercially call it, we tend to comply.
Then there are those companies that are taking advantage, if you will, of being on the other side. Kraft Heinz has got two examples of where their products, their ranch dressing and their Heinz ketchup, have both in some way or other fallen foul of the World Cup, as I heard from the Chief Marketing Officer.
Brand building is about not just about big TV ads and all that stuff. It's about having a heartbeat and a pulse for your brand and being relevant in these cultural moments where your brand matters. And there's been a couple things that have come up quite recently, even as you think about the soccer that's all happening in North America at the moment from an international perspective. One great story is we have to move with speed and agility, I will tell you about. And one of the stories is on when you go to a lot of these stadiums right now, FIFA has blacked out, logos on the stadiums, signage in the stadiums. They very much want to have official sponsors, all of that kind of stuff.
We've talked about it on Questme's Business.
We've talked about it, right.
In Seattle, everything has been
blacked out. Right, and to be clear, we are not an official partner. And listen, with all respect, we have a lot of respect for FIFA as an organization and everything they're doing. We started seeing through social listening on social media that in stadiums, in the suites of the stadiums, even down to the condiments. So there were condiments next to all the hot dogs, hamburgers, whatever people having, on all the bottles of Heinz. Black electrical tape, people were blacking out the bottles, even down to that level of the branding was frowned upon. And so rather than, we started to see this getting traction on social media, people were like, oh my gosh, they're even like blacking out the condiments, what's happening? We moved very quickly with our team in Canada to say, you know what, why don't we lean into this? And so we actually came out with Heinz unofficial stadium ketchup in Canada. And it's a bottle of Heinz with black tape over the Heinz logos throughout it. And we're giving that to consumers so consumers at home can have the authentic stadium experience in their homes, which has black tape on your Heinz. So it's just moving very quickly with things like that.
And then you've got the ranch.
Oh, ranch is another thing too. So one of the great things about this World Cup is seeing all the fans coming into America and experiencing all the best parts of America from different cultures and whatnot. And one of the things that's been so fascinating has been ranch dressing. It's a great American delicacy, ranch dressing. And a lot of people from other countries are coming in and they're just, oh my gosh, I have to bring this home. I'm dipping my pizza in it. I'm dipping my fries. And so they're bringing bottles back with them to the airports, but they're getting confiscated at TSA at the security at the airport because you can't bring liquids in a big bottle. And so you're seeing pictures from airports of ranch dressing in the garbage cans all thrown out. And TSA even issued guidance to consumers and said, reminder, ranch dressing counts as a liquid. We said, well, we have ranch dressing. We have Kraft ranch dressing, which is one of the best tasting ranches out there. And we said, why don't we lean into this as well? And so within 24 hours, we came out with these 3.4 ounce little sachets of ranch that you usually get in a restaurant. And we're now giving them away to consumers at scale where you put enough of them in a clear carry-on that it adds up to the size of a total bottle. And so now we're leaning into that moment as well.
As a brand marketer, this requires a mindset change from you to be able to say, dong, light bulb, this is happening. there's a horse that I can ride.
Yes, that's right. And I think it's one of those things that some of the best ideas and executions are not briefed that we end up doing. There still is a lot of traditional marketing. You brief the agency, build an ad, do a lot of the social media, how we do a lot of that. But there's a lot of it that is just keeping your ear to the ground, having diverse teams, being in tune with what's going on in that cultural pulse to know where and when your brand matters, whether it's through a sport, a situation that's relevant to your brand, whether it's through something else in culture. And again, it's not about chasing everything out there. It's about finding those right beats where your brand matters and figuring out a way through creativity and organic media and earned media on how you can drive touch points for your brand and engagement. This idea of people opting in, because then these are the articles and the posts on social that people forward to their friends, they text to their family, they're like, oh my God, did you see this? That's a much higher engagement than coming in through paid media solely at the top of the funnel. So you need both, and it's a skill that we're trying to move very quickly through agility here at Kraft Heinz.